Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Monday. I am Gigi, and this is Walking 1K with Gigi. Oh my goodness, it is a beautiful day here in the 757. Think we might get a little bit of rain, but I'm gonna get this done before the raindrops, in between the raindrops. But good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. I tell you, this past weekend was a busy weekend for a lot of people. On Saturday, there were a lot of college graduations. And let me just take a moment and say congratulations to all of the college graduates. I know three personally that graduated and got their degrees. Again, congratulations. And of course, yesterday was Mother's Day. And I hope that every mother, and everyone that serves in a mothering role had a great day on yesterday. I know I surely did. It was a wonderful day. We had a beautiful Mother's Day service at our church at Grace and Twine Ministries. Yours truly brought the message. And I tell you, I talked about yesterday the best advice that a mother could give at a wedding. And that was advice that came from um, Jesus' mother, Mary, at a wedding. And, the story was about, they had ran out of wine at the wedding. And Mary told her son, they ran out of wine. And at first, Jesus, is saying, woman, it's not my time. But anyway, she knew something. But anyway, she just ignored him. And you know what she said to the servants? She said, whatsoever he says, do it. Just do it. That's the best advice because Jesus is speaking to us even now as his servants. Whatsoever he says, do, just do it. Oh my goodness. You know what? You need to see that message in its entirety. It's going to premiere next Sunday at 10 a.m. And then, we even had a soul to give their life to the Lord. Oh my goodness, what a wonderful day. That made my day on Mother's Day. But again, I hope you had a great Mother's Day on yesterday. Well, today is Monday. Today is Monday. I tell you, this month is going on by almost the middle of May. And yes, I was up this morning praying and looking at the devotional in our daily bread. And this is a great lesson this morning. And the title of the devotional today is No Regrets. But I'm going to take it a little bit further because this reminds me of a song by India Ari. And her song is No Coulda, Woulda, Shoulda. No coulda, no woulda, no shoulda. That's what we say sometimes when we have regrets about, not doing some things. I should have did this, I could have did this, I would have did this. But we want to live with no regrets. So the story in the lesson today, it started out about teaching about greed because the question was asked to Jesus, Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me. And Jesus replied, Man, who appointed me a judge or an arbiter or a mediator between you? Then he said to them, Watch out, be on guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions. Then he started telling a parable. He told about this man, and he yielded a great harvest. And so it made the man rich. And then one day the man said, what shall I do? I have no room to store all of my crops. And then he said, now this is what I'll do. I will tear down my barns and build bigger ones. and there I will store my surplus. You know, up until this point, it was okay. I mean, if you get over an abundance, you need more room to store it. That was okay. But the next thing that he said changed the whole picture. And then he said, I'll say to myself, you have plenty of grain laid up for many years. Take life easy, eat, drink, and be merry. Now, this next verse is where I'm placing my emphasis on. But guess what? God said to him, you fool, this very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? And then Jesus said, this is how it will be with whoever stores up things for themselves, but not rich towards God. Now, on the surface, this looks like a lesson about being greedy. And it is in a way. But there is a deeper lesson here, because the lesson we learn from this is that true riches come from a life invested in God. See, instead of him just saying, I'm just going to store it up, I'm not going to share, I'm not going to give, God called him a fool because he was just for himself. And like it says, really true riches comes from a life invested in God. It probably would have been better. Maybe I should share some of this with the poor or with those that need things. But there's a deeper lesson about having regrets. Can you imagine where it says, but God said to him, you fool. Oh my goodness. This very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? I can almost guarantee you about 99% of the time that that man, when he heard God call him a fool, I believe he said maybe one of the following things. Oh my goodness, I could have done something differently. I should have given some of this and invested it in things of God, in the kingdom. I would have done something differently if I knew that this was going to turn out like that. See, I'm sure that he had some regrets after he heard that. But we don't have to have those types of regrets if we ask the Lord to help us live wisely and make wise decisions, because God can help us live wisely without having those regrets. I was reading the beginning of this devotional, and it was telling about this nurse that does hospice care and palliative care for the dying. And she said she intentionally asked many of those that she knew were getting ready to pass away 5 questions. And she asked them if there was anything, if they could do something again, was it anything that they regretted? And this was the top 5. They said, number 1, I wish I'd had the courage to live a true life to myself. Number 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Number 3, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And number 5, I wish I'd let myself be happier. That was the top 5 regrets that people had. Speaking of Mother's Day, my mom would tell me a lot of things, but she was very wise in what she would say. She said, Gail, when you go to a funeral and you see people grieving, and they grieve in different ways, but she said, the ones that grieve the worst and more emotional a lot of the time. This is not all the time, but a lot of the time, the majority of the time, they are the ones that regret that they didn't do more for the person that died while they were living. She said, look at them, look at them. They, go to the cemetery. They act like they want to jump in the grave. My mama would say a lot of things. They want to jump in the hole with the dead person when they should have did the things that they should have while the person was living. And then they live with regrets. And see, you want the Lord to help you in a way that while you are living, treat people the way they should be treated. Don't wait until something happens and then you have all of these regrets. Like Enya Ari says, no coulda, shoulda, woulda, no regrets. And God can help you live like that. I remember, when my mother passed, I had no regrets. I did everything that I could do while both of my parents was living, and I had no regrets. And that's how we should live our lives. This man, he had regrets when he found out that he had made some wrong choices, even in and thoughts, even while he was living, he had regrets. But God can help you live wisely and make the best choices so you won't have any regrets, especially when you come to the end of this life. No coulda, no shoulda, no woulda. Oh my goodness. I think somebody needs that today. I think somebody needs that. I don't want to live. I mean, you probably can't go and have zero regrets, but you can certainly reduce the number of regrets by by asking the Lord to help you live wisely. See, the opposite of foolishness is wisdom. You know what it says? Wisdom is the principal thing, and in all thy getting, get understanding. Get understanding. So ask the Lord to help you live wisely, because when you don't, you are just what God called this man, a fool, because you didn't uh, make the wise choices. And now, near the end of your life, you're living with regrets. No coulda, no shoulda, no woulda. All right, all right, all right. That's the gym nugget for today. Thank you for joining me today. I'm up here Monday through Friday, helping you get your walk on, which has so many benefits, and to encourage you and to inspire you. Subscribe to the Gym Nugget channel. I was checking the numbers and the analytics this morning. We're at 49.7. We get close to that 50,000. Oh, we're going to get it this week. We're going to get it this week. 50,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us. Many of you are asking about getting my shirt, getting the Walking 1K with Gigi shirt, and I got mine on this morning in the soft pink. You can also get it in white. And let me repeat that again, and I will include the link. It is gg1kstore.etsy.com. Get your Walking 1K with Gigi shirt. That's the only way you can get it. You have to order it. They will make them on demand in your size, in soft pink or white. Oh my goodness. Get your shirt today. One more announcement. Tomorrow, May 13th, is the deadline to support Grace and Twine Ministry through Cooper Hurley Injury Lawyers and Associates. You just need to give Grace and Twine Ministry one vote. And that's at voteforacause.com. Just go up there. They'll just ask you a little bit of demographic information. Pull down Grace and Twine Ministry. We're up there. Grace and Twine Ministries. And give us one vote. The deadline is tomorrow. I think they'll make the announcement on May 16th, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we would appreciate that. I believe Lord will help us with your support. All right. And don't forget, you can still support the ministry with the chat. You'll see the chat if you want to donate there or donate at our website, graceentwineministries.com. That word is all together, graceentwineministries.com. Oh my goodness. Don't have no regrets. Hey, they didn't win it. I should have voted. I could have voted. I would have voted. Okay. I'm just applying the lesson today. But anyway, y'all have a great day. It's a beautiful morning and be blessed. Bye.